Hey there, everybody. It's Drew from Flames of the Phoenix Tarot card, providing you with a Pick a Deck day. Congratulations. Hey, how's it going? So I have 4 decks that I'm going to be using tonight or today. There's the Heremetic Tarot, the What's Blocking You, Beetlejuice, and then the Paws Tarot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put time drops onto the slides so that you can see where the deck starts. The Heremetic deck, I'm going to use that for career and finance. What's Blocking You is for single and relationships and seeing what's going on. Beetlejuice is going to be used for what are the spirits trying to tell you? What are they trying to give you? And then the Paws Tarot is what's hiding from you right now. So what is going on? What are some of the things that are happening? Very different than what are the spirits trying to tell you. The spirits tell us a lot of good messages, but sometimes there's things that are hidden, and this is where the Paws Tarot comes into play. So if there's something that you've been questioning, doubting, and just trying to get an answer, that's where the Paws Tarot comes into play. But just to give a difference between the two is the Beetlejuice is like, what is the spirits just trying to tell us? What's blocking you? Single relationships. So that's hopefully self-explanatory. And then for the Heremetic there, what that does is it tells us what's going on in terms of career, finance, anything like that. So what I'm going to do, I do read the cards intuitively, and I will, like I said, put timestamps in. I've already shuffled the cards, so now it's just a matter of asking spirits what is going on in terms of careers, finance, anything like that. So let's see what we've got going on. Oh, we already got some stuff going on, it looks like. I was doing a reading the other day, and somebody was like, I didn't realize, Drew, that you have like a little singing feature, a part of the process. It's like, absolutely, I'm going to do some little bit of singing, a little bit. I don't know if I would do necessarily dance, but I would definitely take care of things as it looks. So let's take a look here. So we have 4 cards drawn here. We have 2 cards in reverse. We have a hidden card here, so we don't necessarily what's going on. And then we have the Temperance card here. So just doing a quick observation, 9 of Pentacles, Knight of Swords being reversed, Temperance being face up, unknown card here. Automatically, I'm seeing that if we're talking finances, finance look pretty good in the next few months, if anything. I'm getting a vibe, like for those of you that might own a house or might own property, there's going to be some renovations that are going to need to be happening. I'm totally getting a roof. Like the roof needs to be worked on. There's something going on with the roof. 9 of Pentacles is telling me it's something that you've already been planning for being reversed, but I think it's going to cost more than you anticipated. There's tons of things going on with our global economy, so I'm pretty sure that's probably what that is. The Knight of Swords is a lesson learned. So maybe, and again, I'm just thinking out loud here. I'm talking to a financial advisor, just seeing what's going on in terms of your finances. That's how I'm seeing the upper cards kind of being played right now. The Temperance card talks about flow. And what I'm liking right first and foremost is that I'm getting a sense that with the career, it's nice and calming. So like I'm not getting stressed. I'm not getting anxiety. I'm getting a burp, which is usually validation in my world. But with the Temperance card, I'm almost getting like, if you are happy at your job, I think it's time for a vacation just to relax a little bit more, which might sound a little bit counterintuitive because if you like what you're doing, you probably want to stay a little bit longer. But for this, it's kind of saying like, it's nice to take a break and just take a break. For those of you that are probably in the process of job hunting, it looks to me like I'm seeing a lot of flow and process. If you are actively job searching, I would wonder first and foremost, if you're in an elevated position in our society, are you seeking a recruiter? Because in my mind, I'm seeing that it's not just you looking, it's other people helping and supporting you in that process. What's going on here? The 9 of Wands, pretty cool. 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands here. So the 9 of Wands talks about the prisons that we put ourselves in. And maybe that's why I was starting with people who are enjoying their job, take a break. The people that are not enjoying their job, yeah, my initial reaction might be take a break. But it's also saying, why are you unhappy? So rather than just jumping ship and going to another ship that might be sinking too, It's why are you unhappy and what can you do to fix that? So rather than jumping and kind of seeing what's going to happen in your new place, take stock. I almost like it would be kind of convenient if like the devil card showed up, because it's like I'm getting the feeling like I would rather you stay with the devil you know than the devil you don't know, because I feel like the devil you know how to handle and manage it, and that's for those people that are currently unhappy with their workplace. I always I always joke with my friends because I'm like, you have PTOs and you have sick days for a reason. Why are you not using them? And there's this part when I'm just looking overarching. If the finances are good, maybe there needs to be a little bit of a gap. And I also, one of the things I'm hearing in my head right now is, well, if you do decide to leave a job and transition to another one, maybe don't start the job immediately. So maybe take 2 weeks out in between the two and allow yourself that time to reset and then start the new job or the new opportunity. And then in doing so, you give yourself a better reset. Like I just like I see like that big red button. You know, when you see in those movies, there's that huge red button. It's like press this button when you need to like bounce, or you know, the abort button. But I that's what I'm seeing here, is that you're not necessarily at that level, but if you are planning to leave, before you start the new job, make sure there's a transition period. So allow yourself, I'm honestly thinking 2 weeks, because the new job is just going to be as daunting as, taxing. So give yourself that transition period so that you're not putting yourself in a greater stress. So for those of you that are listening solely for career, finances, anything like that, that would be the reading I have for here. Next up is going to be single, in a relationship, what's going on, and all that fun stuff. As I mentioned, I do read cards intuitively, and with the cards here, I've already shuffled them up. So let's see what's going on, spirits, for singles and relationships, and see what's going on, what in the world. Oh my goodness. Gee. Got some stuff going on here. Okay, 4 cards again. Interesting. So, for those of you that are joining right now, welcome. I already had shuffled the cards. I just did the drawing of them now. What I'm noticing first and foremost is like there's this is an intuitive reading for those that are. First off, let's do the ones that are single. So the ones that are single, I know you can probably read just as well as I can here that it says non-committed, feel unloved, pent-up anger, and unlovable. For those of you that are single, I know that sometimes it's a challenge to find the right person, and sometimes that person might seem so far away. But once you find that right person, those of you that are single, it just clicks. And I feel like for those of you that are in that scenario right now, I almost get the impression that the reason why you are feeling like there's no end in sight, or that you are presently single, it's because you haven't met the right person. And once you meet that right person, it's just gonna click. You are gonna feel it. It's gonna come so naturally, unexpected. I'm also getting friend vibes. So it's like I just got a full tingling in my neck. That was pretty cool. But it's almost like for those of you that are single, maybe it's time to reach out, or even better yet, go out with friends. For those of you that are single, that's like how I'm getting like my little advice right now, based on what I'm seeing here, is that if you have pent up anger, if you are feeling unloved, maybe it's time for you to go out with people that you do love. So friends, family members, go for a night out. Like I'm totally seeing like a rave or a dance party. But I also see on the flip side, like going to like a book reading. Like as like we like for me, that's I would totally go to a book reading. Like that's totally my jam. But this is also what I'm seeing, is that like something as simple as going to a book reading, you're gonna find people that are gonna match that. I also see, for those of you that are single and actively looking, um, I I almost get like I totally get this visual of you grabbing your cell phone and like throwing it out the window. So for those of you that might be using the dating apps, maybe that's where you need to take a break from it because it's not serving you. For those of you that are in a relationship, even though the pictures look a little unfavorable, I'm getting a lot of love. And for those of you who are in a relationship, like it says not committed, but look at how the hands are still drawn together. Look at how the legs are still coming together, and that they're still like they're tied together, like they're committed to. I know it says not committed, but I like for those of you that are in a relationship, I feel like there's like a strong bound relationship there, or something that's just really keeping you together. Um, if it's a hurdle issue, I'm feeling like this pent up anger. When it's reversed, it actually means that it's probably getting released. So to me, how to release anger is communication. So are you communicating effectively, or are you just being passive and then hoping that the other person knows? They're not psychic. I'm not psychic. I don't know how you're feeling. And also too, I feel like sorry goes a long way. So if you are struggling to kind of get past that hurdle, maybe ask yourself, when was the last time I actually just apologized for, if I'm being difficult, being like, hey, you know what, I'm sorry. And when it comes from an authentic and a genuine place, it usually does have a huge, like I feel like a lift, like a lot of stress is lifted as a result. So if you're turning around and you're just feeling like maybe my partner or my person, my sexy friend, whatever that is, whatever you call it, if it is truly something where you need to have that conversation with them, maybe just come from an authentic place and say, you know what, I know we're going through a hard patch right now, but we can get through this together because I care, or that I love you, or whatever it is that you need to say. And I think that, no, I know that it will make a profound difference. I also get like coffee, tea, like sitting in a cafe, like I get that vibe as well. Like it doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be thoughtful. And I know there's multiple different love languages out there, but most people that like I know, they appreciate having one-on-one time and being able to talk, and that access service. Like I'm just rhyming off, like in my mind, it's like quality time, access service, affirmation, like that could all be easily taken care of. But also too, like I get, and this is coming into my mind now, is that communication works by understanding what the other person expects in terms of communication, not what you expect. So are you providing what that person needs for communication, or are you taking care of your own needs? So that would be where my mind is kind of now shifting gears, is like, are you giving that person what they need for communication, or are you using what you need for communication? And again, that's just something I'm noticing here. For again, single people, it's like I see you tossing. I see you tossing your cell phone and being like, enough with this. But I'm also seeing, for those of you in a relationship, that for if you are in a struggle right now, I think for me, it's just let people know where your positioning is. And it doesn't hurt to apologize, but make sure the apology is genuine. Don't just like walk up and be like, I'm sorry, and be like, for what? And then you're like, for being born? I don't know. But that would be where my mind is going with that. So that does it there for the singles and in relationships, and just some feedback there from based on the cards that were drawn. Next step we're going to be doing is Beetlejuice. Make sure I won't say that 3 times fast. And with that one here, we're going to be doing spirits and figuring out what spirits want us to know, overarching, and what's going on. I do read cards intuitively. They have been shuffled beforehand, so now it's just a matter of letting loose and seeing what's going on. So spirits, what do we need to know these days? Oh. I have probably watched the second Beetlejuice now at least 8 times. I want to say 8 times. But I've also been like touching and going. You know when you watch a movie and you stop or you fast forward it to another part? Because I found like that movie had so many different layers to it that sometimes I had to go back. Also, too, I was laughing a lot. So it's kind of like, okay, well, I laughed and I missed that part, right? So now it's kind of like, okay, I need to take it upon myself to rewatch it a couple times so that I know what I'm missing out. So when I've watched the first one, I watched that as a Halloween movie. I don't know about you, but like that's always like a Halloween like staple in my world. It's like Ghostbusters, Hocus Pocus, and Beetlejuice are probably like the ones that are nostalgic that I have to watch over the Halloween period. Oh, and then like Halloween and Scream too. Okay, so what we got here, so this is what spirits are telling us. So it feels like there's like 3 big things that they're trying to give us information on. I'm going to start over here. For some reason, this is really interesting to me. So the Knight of Pentacles, followed by the Knight of Pentacles, and the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands talks about the prisons that we put ourselves in. And at least I do read the cards intuitively. So please just keep that in mind when you're listening to the reading. So with the 9 of Wands, side by side, the Knight of Pentacles, it's like you have created a prison for yourself that you're trying to get yourself out of, but you're trying to draw a map that the map is not making sense. It makes sense to you, but it's not making sense to other people, and that's causing a little bit of problems. The Knight of Pentacles talks about how we race towards our goals and how sometimes we don't remind ourselves how the goal came to be or what even the goal meant. So just looking at these two here, creating of a prison and then not knowing what the goal is, I think the spirits are actually telling you flat out, what are you doing? I'm a firm believer that our lives have been already like predestined, but there's still a little bit of flexibility because knowing me, if I was to be like before I was born to make my own decisions, I probably was like, we're gonna have a little fun with your life. And I feel like when I see these two cards side by side, it's a question, and the spirits are probably, and I'm just getting a total wave on my back that you are, or whoever is listening to this part, you're creating a map or you're creating a goal, and it's like, what's the point? Why are you doing this? What is this doing? Is this bringing you joy? Is this bringing you frustration? What is it doing? Because just by looking at these two cards side by side in tandem, it's almost telling me it's like, it's not worth it. Like I don't know. Like it's like you've created something that is so complicated that it's causing friction. And I'm just thinking right now of a situation where I was helping somebody out, and I was like, this is so complicated, and it didn't need to be. And I kind of like totally called them out on it and was like, why can't you keep this simple? And it wasn't like I couldn't follow along. That wasn't it at all. But it was like, what could you have done differently so that other people could follow a little bit more easily? Like I could follow along, but I felt like, it took a lot for me, a lot of focus. And I always kind of joke because there's quite a few shows that are currently active in our society where it's like you can't be, texting, or you can't be, scrolling on your phone. You have to watch, or you miss out on like a pivotal piece. Or for me, like, I don't, I'm pretty proficient in some languages, but I still need to watch the subtext to make sure that I understand what's going on. And it's like, if I'm not paying attention, like for me, like Squid Games, like I have to pay attention because I do not speak the language. And in this case here, it's like, why are you keeping things complicated when it could be just so simple? Let's go down here for those of you that are attracted to down here. So you have the Devil card, you have the King of Cups reversed, and then you have is that the Two of Swords? It is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords reversed. So, first off, the Devil card is not a bad card. This is passion. This is energy. This is something that is giving you like, let's do this. But the King of Cups is masculine energy. And the masculine energy here is being reversed. And it's almost saying that you, and if you're not, again, this is masculine energy. It's not men only. It's not like I'm not saying no to the women, but I'm definitely getting like a masculine vibe. And it's almost like you are dealing with somebody that has a very strong, I'm getting like the push down on the thumb, like somebody who's really getting into you. And spirits are saying you get to choose if that is how you want to show up or how they can show up in your world. So there might be some passion there. Like this could well be romantic, and it could almost be like you think that it's a great relationship, but then the spirits are like, no, you're getting too pressured in that relationship. The Two of Wands, the Two of Swords. That's interesting. I said Wands. The Two of Swords talks about the lesson and how you choose the lesson. When it's upright, when it's upright, it usually tells us that you don't know what the future has in store. So that's why, like, Lydia is going through and you don't know what's on the other side of the door. But when it's reversed, it talks about you already going through that door and you know what's happened. So if these three cards are together, it's almost like you're repeating the same issues. So you're dealing with the same issues, you're dealing with the same situation, and I feel like you're hoping for a new outcome. And the passion, the energy, the drive, this almost feels romantic by nature, because this here is a romance, like the devil card is very passion, very energy. It could also be like project based, but the King of Cups is telling me like there is somebody there that's not, they're not showing up the way that they should. Like they're definitely showing up in a way that is kind of making you second guess their intentions, not your intentions, their intentions. And that's probably why the Two of Swords is there as the final step, because I think that's telling me that it's not a good fit. You know that there's something not there, and you're like, how do I fix this? My honest feeling here is that you've dealt with this before, and you've handled it in a way that has actually worked to your favor. It's now a matter of you proceeding with that. So just do what you know how to, do you, and you do you, and give yourself that flexibility and autonomy. What's going on over here? Ten of Wands. So this is, first off, it's reversed. So the Ten of Wands reversed tells me that you're falling out of the window again. So in the movie here, what's happening is he's kind of going through the doorway there because, there was movers happening and all that fun stuff. But with it being reversed, it's like you're falling out the window. So you're kind of falling out of the window and you're not actually moving forward. So it's... The Nine of Wands talks about, and I think I may have already expressed that in the previous ones for those of you who are watching them sequentially. Oh, Nine of Wands is here as well. And these are shuffled. I promise you I shuffled them. But this is telling me that you're falling back into your same traps. So are you actually taking care of things? I feel like you're being a little bit, not dubious, but like I feel like you're thinking that you're going to take the easy route out, but the easy route out is actually causing you more friction. So it's like you're better off to do the extra work in order for you to not have to do this all over again and again and again and again and again. So for those of you that, for spirits here, it's like stop repeating the same trap. Here is the same one as like you are in your own prison that you created for yourself, so stop doing it. And here you've already dealt with these issues before, so it's a matter now of just moving forward and getting them to be taken care of. That's how I'm reading these from the spirit guides. So this is for that. For those of you, let me just reset. For those of you that are joining me now, I am doing Hidden Truth. So maybe something you don't know that's happening and how it's coming to be. I've already shuffled these cards. I do read the cards intuitively. So let's see what's happening. What's the hidden truth? Ooh, there is already something going on. There's an orchestra. I call the Seven of Cups my orchestra. Okay. 2. Okay, so let's see here. So I do read cards intuitively and see what's going on in terms of how the cards came out. I know one of my favorite feedbacks I received is that, Drew, I really like watching the shuffle, and then when the cards like populate, and some of them like fly up in the air, and some of them like land smack dab in the middle. So it's always fun to watch that. So this is what the hidden is and that we're trying to discover. So I'm going to start over here because that caught my eye right away. So the Seven of Cups talks about our emotions and how there's multiple options. So if you see here, there's tons of options there, tons of things that we can look at and forecast for ourselves. But the hidden truth is that the Knight of Swords, you haven't learned your lesson yet. So there are tons of options, and you just don't know what the right option is for you at this point in time. I can imagine like that. That's tough. So the hidden truth is that you actually, it's right in front of your nose. So if you have been trying to make a decision here, 3, the number 3 is coming up in my mind. So it could be the third one in, it could have been the third choice, it could be 3 months, it could be $300, but 3 is a big significant number in that decision making process. But I feel like you haven't learned your lesson here, and keeping it super simple, super basic would actually help in that case. What's going on here? 8 of Swords, analysis paralysis. Oh my goodness. Why is that showing up over here for those of you that are following this process? So with the 8 of Swords here, it's like you have created, very similar to the 9 of Wands, but this one here is a lesson that you haven't learned, and you're stuck until you learn it. So if this is a hidden truth, is that you have created this cyclical process. And in that cyclical process, I'm a Trekkie, so I'm thinking of the next generation. And if I'm losing you, I'm sorry, but there's an episode where they're in this loop in the Star Trek universe, Next Generation, and in that storyline, this is weird because the number 3 was the number that came up over and over again. And what that was doing was Data was referencing Riker's pins, but they're not called pins, but his command position to choose that decision as the process. Because every time they were going through the loop, they were choosing Data's decision, and it was the wrong one. So I feel like if this is an interesting process here, and 3 is coming up in my mind, that could be why it is that you've been choosing your decision the entire time when there's somebody else's decision that's maybe in a leadership or maybe somebody that you respect and that you look up to that could actually be giving you a really good solution to these issues that you're coming up with. So like I said, 3 just came up in my head, the 8 of Swords, that totally is coming up in my mind. And then it was, how it ended was Kelsey Grammer actually was the special guest star for that episode. I'm not ruining the episode, but it's been also on for over 20, 30 years ago. But this is telling me that even be a little bit playful. Just ask people around and be like, what would you do? And see what people would do just to kind of give you some context and some guidance. Over here, you have the 4 of Cups reversed. You have the Hermit, and you have the 10 of Pentacles. Let me just slide this over so it can all be in view for you as well. So with the 10 of Pentacles, that's talking about success. So, for those of you that are like, ugh, I always can't stand when there's not a happy ending, this is a happy ending for me. Usually this one would be a happy ending for me or anybody else I'm working with. The Hermit talks about taking time and taking reflection to get to the 10 of Pentacles. The 4 of Cups reversed talks about your options and that sometimes overanalyzing is not the best solution. So if this was a hidden truth or something that's hidden from you, you are making the same decision and it's not helping you and you're not learning your lesson. Your lesson, I honestly think 3. So 3 in my mind, leadership, talk to other people. It could simply be the number 3. But over here, it's taking time, reflecting, journaling, understanding what it is that you need. Understand that if you keep overanalyzing it, though, it's never going to come to a solution, but the solution will show up. The solution will be good, and that hidden truth, again, I'm honestly thinking for those of you that are struggling, this is telling me that you have been making the wrong decision over and over again, expecting for a new solution. But if you were to take a time out, I get like coaching, consulting, like talking to somebody who is experienced. Like I'm really hearing like experienced individual, like that's in my mind now. That would probably help you out to reach that final outcome. That does it for me. So for those of you that have been following along, thank you very much. I appreciate you. So please like, subscribe, comment on this. I will catch you later. But I have been getting a lot of feedback that, you know, these pick a deck, pick a themes are really helping a lot of people, because sometimes the astrological sign, it is diluted. I totally get that. Like there's a lot of people that do that as well. Whereas this can be fun and exciting as well. So I'm going to leave you. Have a great day, and I will chat with you later. Bye for now.